A regular day for Girls Rock Camp, we come here in the morning and we have fun with our buddies and we sing the camp song, and then we go to our technique class and we work on learning how to sing better and learning how to perform better.
They teach you different songs and different notes depending on which level you are at on playing the bass.
There's like a lot of things that like kids learn from the camp that they can't just learn from the internet.
It makes me feel more confident that I can do it.
The lunchtime performances, oh, those are so fun. They have bands or dancers or people or like singers that want to come in and sing or perform in front of us.
And my favorite performance was the Detached Dolls that was today.
You just start dancing, and then it feels like nobody's watching you, and you just kind of just do it, and you kind of just dance.
To like be in the band the first day is really awkward, like you don't know anybody, and it's really hard. You're trying to like figure out what type of things everybody likes so that you can get your song done faster. But if people are like, they don't really know, then it makes the whole process harder.
I started a band with my friend, but we kind of broke up because it was hard for us to share ideas, so I kind of went off and read. They would still be playing.
I would like to sing, but I just would be a little nervous. But since I'm playing the bass, I'm a little nervous too because I have my own solo, and it's really, if you see, I'm doing this kind of trick on the bass, so if you mess up, it's really hard to fix that mistake.
Honestly, I feel like everybody else did better songs.
You haven't heard their songs yet. How do you know that?
Because I have. In vocals class, we sang our songs, except I didn't. I was like, I'm gonna come back later, I'm gonna come back later. But I never got to it. But I was pretty glad. I didn't want to embarrass myself. We just keep playing over and over again, something that we do in our band, so we get really, really good. And then you get comfortable with it, and then you start knowing how to play it.
Sometimes it's hard to agree, but still you can have a really enjoyable time.
A lot of friendships are made here, which is really nice. There's a lot of drama too, but currently my band is really passionate about it, and I notice the ideas that they come up with and how excited they get about it. It's fun to see and kind of be a part of.
Che has been really nice to me every day. She's my buddy, and when we first met, Che just basically attacked me by jumping on me and hugging me.
Pearl was my buddy. We were paired up, and then she really liked to dance, and I really liked to dance, so we started dancing, and then that's kind of how we met.
I've made friends with my band: Victoria, Kaya, Monet, Ginger, and that's it.
The smaller kids, well, the older kids are the flats. I'm a flat. And the smaller kids, the younger ones, they're sharps. And my buddy, Dakota, who I met during one of the morning times. She's really cool.
There's this girl, her name's Leia. She's my buddy, and I call her Frito, and yeah.
1, 2, 3. 4 years ago, I was in my room on the floor, waiting for you. Now it's all gone now, and I found my love too. Now I just can't let go of you. So you think this is gonna be a love song? Heck no! Jones, hit that beat! Get on!
Girls Rock Camp. It's just amazing.
It rocks harder than a rock.
My favorite part is playing with our band because it's so fun to make music together. And
Probably getting to know new people that I've never met.
It helped me learn that I am not, I can't grow up just too fast.
Everybody's welcome, no one judges here. And you can be who you are here, and no one's gonna look down upon you or treat you any differently.
We're not acting like we're somebody else, and everybody's so fun and inviting.
That's actually part of the act. Thank you. When you come to see Pants, the musical, you'll get that joke even more, because we're very, very goofy, very strange. You'll feel like you're watching a cartoon. A couple of housekeeping things for what we're about to do. I just want you to know, we're going to be singing a song called Pants, and it's on a track. But in our show, we have a live band on stage for the entire show. So that's just a little disclaimer. There's only 3 of us here, but we have 18 in our cast. We may be small, but we're mighty. I think one of the MCs, I forget which one, mentioned that it is works in progress. Sometimes here, or maybe Cole Mel said that, I think. But anyway, we're still works in progress. We're not playing until June 23rd and 24th, so actually this song is probably finalized. But there's this thing is, you're going to hear in the song that we're mentioning the beloved corduroy red pants. Now clearly, those are not red. Thank you, Joyce. They're not red. They've been dyed 4 times. They can't ever get red. So we have to ask you to pretend with us this evening. Red pants, as we speak, are being sewn, but they didn't get that in time. Our show is the story of a little girl. We meet her when she's 3 years old, and we will know her until she's around 83. And her name is Eleonora, but only her mother calls her that. And when her mother calls her that, she says, Eleonora! Everyone else calls her Ellie. Oh, hi, Pumpkin Ellie. Her dad, her grandma, who lives with them. And she just wants to wear pants. Just wants to wear pants. And she has a lot of little friends that feel the same, and their parents won't let them do that, because this is back in the day. You know, we're just a little bit over 39 or 49, or we're probably the only grandmother act in the whole festival. Well, a couple of us are grandmas.
We're seasoned tenders.
Right on, right on. She just doesn't get who she is. She knows she's different. She doesn't fit in. She's uneasy about that. And even the people that love her the most, her dad and her grandmother, they don't get it very well either. So they're a little bit misguided in how to help her feel okay about herself. So we're going to sing for you tonight our opening song. Before we do, I want to introduce Joyce Taylor. In our show, Joyce sings, acts, and what cracks wise, as you've already heard. And a fellow writer, Dana Vinikoff, is a writer, and she is also a singer and an actor in our show. So let's give the audience our opening song. Pants, I love them. Pants, I want them. Gotta have them, oh I need them. My corduroy red pants. And the waist's elastic, so fantastic. I got pockets, great big pockets, in my corduroy red pants. I'm so ready and rock steady. Got my pants on, bring the world on. This girl is gonna roll. Pants are so fine, I feel divine when I'm wearing my beloved, my corduroy red pants.
And she loves them, and she wants them, and she needs them, gotta have them, her corduroy red pants. And we think she's a lesbian, queer as can be, but she's too young to understand it. But she knows that she does not fit in.
I'm confused, they refuse my desire to find out who I really am. I don't get it, where do I fit? Why am I so, who am I? Oh, I wonder who I am.
Pants are aces, great for races. So we're crying when she's flying in her corduroy red pants. And she is such a bragger. Watch that swagger, standing taller in that holler in her corduroy red pants. Pants, I love them. Pants, I want them. And I need them, gotta have them. My corduroy red pants.
Sing with us!
Pants, we love them. Pants, I want them. And I need them, gotta have them. My corduroy red pants. Pants, I love them. Pants, I want them. And I need them, gotta have them. My corduroy red pants.
Give it up for Althea and the Graceland Girls. You know, I'm hard-pressed to find a bigger ham than myself in the Bay Area, but I think you may take the cake, Althea.
How are you tonight? So, has anyone ever walked by the Embarcadero and seen the historical pylons? Have you ever been on the historical pylon tour that's on the Embarcadero? Okay, so if you walk on the Embarcadero, there's there's these kind of phallic like columns that are just interspersed, and they're like every like quarter mile or something like that. And so if you actually stop and look at them, they've got like a historical picture on them, and then they've got like a little blurb about, and here was where, this old cement ship, sank, and here's where, stuff like that. And I was working on this project, and I read one where I had never heard anything about this before, as far as the history of San Francisco, but apparently they would, in order to claim waterfront, they would throw a bunch of crap, a bunch of, broken, debris and pieces of wood, whatever. They just pile it up until there was actually land above water, and then they would claim that as private property. And I thought, oh, that's fascinating. So I wrote a epic poem, and by epic, I don't mean like really long, so don't freak out. But I wrote sort of an alternative history pylon tour. So here you go. The denizen boys whose pale bellies are taut like fat sardines cannot imagine a bigger fish. They too are in ephemera as they have shown others to be. That was pylon 21. Pylon 22. The era ends when cotton steel ships kiss the unfogged knuckles of the Golden Gate Bridge. The red bloom of yoga bodies pauses, hesitates aghast. The alien ships float down and moor themselves to the shoreline, spread themselves on the jogging trails to dry. Pylon 23. The denizen boys and the aliens make a peaceful exchange. They are bryozoan-like creatures that study corporate cultures. They offer the boys fine space beer in exchange for their answers and their time. The denizen boys drink deep. The denizen boys call them Bryans. Pylon 24. Each brine is a network of 1,000 organisms linked by a cellular bridge. Each Bryan believes in the honorable practice of inclusion and non-intrusion. Each Bryan requires 180 gallons of fresh water every day. Each Bryan requires beach access and a water view. Each Bryan pays its rents in space beer and gold. Each Bryan requires a Giants jersey. Each Bryan molts once a year. Its skin hardens, drops off, a crust 55,000 feet square and 10 feet thick, and each Bryan is growing a mountain underfoot. Pylon 25. Each Bryan sends an email to its land bro, says, "Land bro, we won't be paying rent anymore since we aren't living on your property. We're just standing on our own skins anyways. We worked so hard to grow and molt these skins, and we're just standing on our own grown molted skins." Pylon 26. When the Bryans discover gold inside computers, they buy AT&T Park because Bryans also love baseball. Denizen boys cry into the collars of their perfect-fitting shirts, and screaming they block the streets with white buses. They vandalize the stadium. An intense desire to smother boys ripples silently across a Bryan cellular bridge. Do we crush, smother, iron out the wrinkles in those pink ungainly? No, we hush, we prefer a calm and patient reprioritization. Pylon 27. Today the ocean is the color of space beer. Today there are still boys in the bay, but due to overfishing they are much smaller in size. The canneries have closed. Computers don't have gold in them anymore. You can see all the empty husks. These pylons were made of repurposed husks. And then this one was, I think this I would say is a rewrite of a poem I wrote back when I first experienced San Francisco as like a young out queer. So, but this is the rewrite because the original is not, you know, it had its time. Before Jesus and his weapons blinded her, the city was a jaguar, whose blossom-like spots winked open and shut, whose throat was hot with plumes of smoke, whose flexing claw fist carved worry lines into the waiting smoothness of time. A woman asked me to fix her doorknob, and I, stranger I, take a bus which stops frequently, which stops to observe the heisting of banks. Holy shit, says the driver. He pulled out the shotgun. Outside the house, I wait, waiting to be let in. Inside the house, she cracks the door open. The doorknob comes apart in my hands, and in my hands, the pieces are pulled back together. A woman asked me to love Jesus, and I, stranger, I beg of velocity, a moment of its reckless, hurtling wind in which my voice can come back with a shotgun. Outside the station, at its entrance, at its steps, the woman never says goodbye. Her credits just roll, and intravenous she is sunk into the vein of all those people, all those cells under the jaguar skin. The vein pulses twice rapidly, and she is gone, and I am left alone in Spanish, alone with all of Jesus' weapons. Before Jesus and his weapons blinded her, the city was a jaguar, whose black filament lashes cut, whose apartment had a view, whose dark butch lover stood between curtains pulled apart very early in the morning, and all the lights below. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Migueltzinta Solís. How are you? Yeah, you come up and talk in this microphone so everybody can hear you. So the pieces that you just wrote, are they part of the performance you're doing with the Queer Arts Festival?
They are, but there's other pieces, so.
So there's other pieces.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the show. It's called Boomtown,
It's
correct?
called Boomtown, and it is accompanied by a chapbook, which will also have all the pieces that you heard tonight, as well as pieces by Dan Lau, pieces by Jasmine Sufi and Luke Danny Blue, and it will also have artwork from Maya Bodke, who is here tonight with us, and also Jose Hector Cadena.
Great. And so what's the general idea? What can people expect kind of the topic about Boomtown will be?
So Dan Lau, who I'd say he masterminded this project, he has this very interesting phrase. He calls it building tonal landscapes. So, and the idea there is that, you know, this area, San Francisco and the Bay Area in general, has seen a lot of very dramatic changes. It has seen cycles of, you know, genocide and I mean, complete reworkings of like not only the people but the landscape itself, right? So then the idea is, well, how do we express this, right? More than just beyond just the surface, the facts of what's happening and the politics of what's happening. How do we express what is felt as well?
How it feels for that kind of drastic
Exactly,
change, both economic and of the people, demographic, geographic. So many changes.
A lot of changes.
So many changes, you guys. So Boomtown is happening at Kearney Street Workshop. It's a co-production of both QCC and Kearney Street Workshop and the Asian Pacific Islander Cultural Center. So there's a lot of people who are really excited about this show. And that is happening on June 8th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Kearney Street Workshop, correct? That's fantastic. All right, give it up for Migueltzinta Solís.
My name is Warren, and this is for the love of baseball. As a kid growing up in the Bayview Hunters Point area, I love the game of baseball and love to play the game as well. Candlestick Park was in walking distance from my house. Me and my friends, Eddie, Michael, Henry, and Marcel, we all named ourselves after our favorite pro baseball player. We even joined a little league team called the Mission Hells. It was so exciting being able to dress up in our uniforms like the pro baseball players. But the real excitement came when we went to Candlestick Park to see the San Francisco Giants play. People were tailgating in the parking lot. I loved the smell of those hot dogs coming from the concession stand and hearing those sounds coming from the booth. Programs, get your programs, popcorn, cold beer, peanuts, ice cream. Boy, were those the days.
The disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful. So stay prayed up and keep the enemy behind you. You know, I got love for y'all. Spirit, strength, and hope, you know? This is what I live for today. Help other people so I can help myself. Listen up, because I've got something to say, and I need to get it off my chest. Don't give me no, me no want no, don't give me no, me no want no crack. I smoked that shit before, I don't know more because it's whack. The shit was deliberately put in our heads so we die. The devil tried to get me, but he missed me high, nice try. Crack is no joke if you don't believe me, look around. It's killing off our people land, it's breaking families down. Brothers against brothers, sisters against sisters too. Children killing children, what the f we gonna do about this devil we call crack cocaine that's in our hood? It takes your self-respect and dignity, it ain't no good. It's killing me to see the way the crackers took control. My people just don't care no more for crack, they sell their soul. I'd rather hit the dank, forget the crank and crack cocaine. You smoke that white stuff one too many times, you go insane. Believe me when I tell you, leave that white devil alone. God, he will forgive, with him you always have a home. So don't be scared to humble yourself and turn your life around and let God's love back in your heart and stand on solid ground. God changed my life forever, so I'm here to testify. And he can change your life too if you just give him a try. So take that glass pipe out your mouth, get on your knees and pray and ask him to forgive your sins and change your evil ways. And then from that day on, be strong, take one day at a time. Stay on the righteous path, you will get strength and peace of mind. Don't give me no, me don't want no, don't give me no, me don't want no crack. Dear crack, for 24 years I did dirt. For the love of crack, put in work. You beat me down and it hurt and left me shot to the dirt. Didn't give a what, I was sick. Big borrow stole for that hit. You put me on my back quick. I didn't care about shit, so why the f did I stay? Didn't know the price I would pay. Didn't know you dogged me that way. But I'm here to tell you today that I don't need your kind. And I'm no longer blind. And with you out my life, I know that I'll heal in time. So don't write, don't call, and don't phone. This is goodbye trick, I'm gone.
It's called Dirty Secrets. The hardest part of aging, they never tell you. Culture is such a facade, built in anticipation, your whole shining generation. But then the shine passes, the bus keeps rolling after your stop, don't forget. Then comes your time's dismantling, presaging your own unraveling. One by one, your idols drop like truck stop flies, tired of the rich smoke and greases, the social recognition, the success they call it. but still can't stop it. Its resolve and silence equal a bracelet given each of us at conception, stamped with invisible words and numbers, expiration dates, anecdotal, stamping, cramping, tamping down the disappointing recognition with condolences and trinkets, perhaps grandchildren, framed in honored symbols given or more often purchased, degrading proof of time picked off like enemy combatants, the hardwired truth, degradation of culture and symbol, swimming in the still shining water, right alongside your slowly sinking, but somehow still moving, still swimming boat. This is called Blank Landscape. Quixotic flutter of banter skitter toward actual flitter. Filters gone, jazz funk mildew, shrouded damasks hold dusty tails down from imagined heights. Caught in the long sling slung over the grind of salty boulders. Tarantula Jackson, thy name embossed on tiny bars of gleaming soap. Nestled behind the angry rankings of the one and only nonsense ranger. Shavings gone stranger in the blink of your monkey's tandem cancers, an eye whittled from the skins of exotic dancers, nudes crammed into panties on shelves, stacked high and tight with answers. Tragedy runs rampant, ran past us. A sad and serious clip shown in 3/4 scale mansions. Down from the backboard, the bandstand gone wrong, so wrong. Assumptions as opaque as battling bunting, tumbling into canyons, worn deep dark and handsome. Clean up, upchuck stunk of oily stuff, running down drizzle, a trickle of piddle, critter suit worn thin, winded and fine as sanded assholes. All right, this is called La Virgin de no Recordar. The terrain is so familiar, particularly in the near unconscious state you find yourself in now. Who knows how many hours since your last stop or a drop of water, quenching with a scream which runs through your entire muscular system, like a full-body patch of shade, stumbled into like a nearsighted mirage, up close, all over you, sudden like a panther, hard to remember, that time now conditions shifted to such a more extreme magnitude, magnified to a scale familiar in the abstract, only previously, suddenly, currently a painlessly burning reality, mechanically lifting each foot and barely remembering to try to maintain balance, to stay upright, to try to remember that inherently humans have one leg slightly longer, only slightly shorter than the length of an exhausted breath exhaled, partially through the nose, mouth, eyes, if your senses can be trusted. And let's face it, at this point, who are you even talking to right now? Are you in a shower, or is that just the weight of the sun on your scalp, your back, the backs of your legs, one only slightly longer, the other only slightly shorter than the other, that can lead to walking in long, loping circles, hypnotically drifting like the most graceful trapeze artist, swinging endlessly from one perfectly lit silk-wrapped bar to another. And who can even remember where it was that you were hoping to arrive earlier when you were departing originally, your cracked lips moving, but only your last motivations escaping.
My glare has burned through her. And I'm sure that such actions aren't foreign to her because the essence of her beauty is, well, the essence of beauty. And in the presence of this higher being, the weakness of my masculinity kicks in, causing me to personify my wannabe, big baller, shot caller, God's gift to the female species with shiny suit, rapping like, hey, yo, what's cracking, shorty, how you living, what's your sign, what's your size? I dig your style, yo. Now, this girl was no fool, and she gives me a dirty look with the quickness like, boy, you must be stupid. So I'm looking at myself like, boy, you must be stupid. But looking upon her, I am kind of feeling her style. So I try again, but instead of addressing her properly, I blurt out one of my fake-ass playalistic lines like, girl, you must be a traffic ticket, because you got fine written all over you. Now she's trying to leave, and I'm trying to keep her here. And so with a final attempt, I blatter, girl, what is your ethnic makeup? See? At this point, her glare was scorching through me. And somehow she manages to make her brown eyes resemble some kind of brown fire or something. But there's no snap or head movement, no palm to face, click of tongue, middle finger, roll of eyes, or girl power chant. She just glares at me with these burning eyes, and her gaze grabs me by the throat, and she says, ethnic makeup? First of all, makeup's just an anglicized, colonized, commodified utility that my sisters have been programmed to consume, forcing them to cover up their natural state in order to emulate when another sister looks like in her natural state, because people keep telling her that the other sister's natural state is more beautiful than the first sister's natural state. At the same time, the other sister isn't even in her natural state because she's trying to imitate yet another sister. So in actuality, the natural state that the first sister was trying to imitate wasn't even natural in the first place. Now, I'm thinking, damn, this girl's kicking knowledge. But meanwhile, she keeps spitting on it like, fine. I'll tell you about my ethnic makeup. I wear foundation, but not that powdery stuff. I wear the foundation laid by my indigenous people. It's that foundation that makes it so that past being globalized, I can still vocalize with confidence I know where my roots are. I wear this foundation not upon my face, but within my soul. And I take this from my ancestors, because I'll be damned if I ever let a European or American corporation tell me what my foundation should look like. And I don't wear lipstick, but my lips stick to the ears of men so they can experience and surround sound my screams of agony with each lash of rulers, measuring tape, and scales, as if my waistline and weight are inversely proportional to my value as a human being. See, my lips, they stick, but not together. Rather, they flail open with flames to burn down this culture that once kept them shut. And I don't mess with eyeshadow, but my eyes shadow over this timeline where you've gone to end to keep me blind, but you can't cover my eyes, look into them. My eyes foreshadow change. My eyes foreshadow light. And I'm not into hair dyeing, but I'm here dying because this oppression just won't get out of my hair. They form these highlights of my past atrocities. They tangle around my mind. This oppression that manifests is stressing me so that even though I don't color my hair in a couple of years, it'll look like I dyed it gray. So what's my ethnic makeup? I don't have any, because your ethnicity isn't something you can just make up. And as far as that shit that my sisters put on their faces, that's not makeup. It's make-believe. I can't seem to look up at her. And I'm sure that such actions aren't foreign to her, because her expression shows that she knows that my mind is in the trance. As her footsteps fade, my ego is left in crutches. And rejection never sounded so sweet.
Damn, it's Monday. Is Holly in the shower? She's going to use up all the hot water. I'll have to go to school without showering. I hope Sam doesn't notice. It's freezing in here. Shit, totally forgot to finish my essay. Mr. G is going to be pissed. Maybe I can BS it. Maybe I should just skip. I'm definitely not going to get an A in this class. Maybe not even a B. That's going to hurt my GPA. It doesn't matter anyways, I didn't get into Stanford. Oh god, how am I gonna tell that to Mom? I can't let her down. All these AP classes, after-school programs, getting only 6 hours of sleep, tests, book reports, finals, exam, lectures, SAT preps. Have I learned anything? I shouldn't even go to college. I'll just be wasting Mom's money. She works so hard. I learned nothing at school. It'll be the same in college. I would have to move out. I'd lose all my friends. What if I can't make new friends? I would need to get a job. I don't even have a resume. By the time I'm 30, Mom will want grandkids. I can barely take care of myself. Who would I even marry? What if I end up getting a divorce? I've seen it in the movies before, I know how it goes. I'll just mess up their lives. Mom will be devastated, I'll be screwed, my life will be ruined. Shoot, I need to get up. Limitations, frustrations, black ain't nothing but a color, but we wear it as a label, limiting the things of which we are capable. I sit back and listen to the sounds streaming from the mouths of an artist. You paint the picture of a nigga, allowing the white man to feel bigger. How can you call your sisters by those names and shoot your brother straight through the brains? I'll be damned if we live by limitations of our skins. I'll be damned if we go back to being slaves again. I can't understand how you think that's okay. I can't understand rap lyrics today. I'll be damned if we live by limitations of our skins. I'll be damned if we go back to being slaves again. I can't understand how you think that's okay. I can't understand us today. Never did I think that I would ever see the day that we played dead and just rolled over. Gave March his dream the cold shoulder. Brown versus board, well, I guess it never happened, cause now all that we say is F that education and it's politics. Discrimination is politics. Determination trumps all, said Malcolm X. Continuation this way, well, who knows what's next? But I won't sit here and find out. Gotta go right now. Gonna fight somehow. I'll be damned if we live by limitations of our skins. I'll be damned if we go back to being slaves again. I can't understand how you think that's okay. I can't understand rap lyrics today. I'll be damned if we live by limitations of our skins. I'll be damned if we go back to being slaves again. I can't understand how you think that's okay. I can't understand us today. As I walk through the valley of shadows of death, I will fear no evil. Stand up, brothers and sisters. Fight for you with me. Be the change in the world you want to see, Gandhi. I can't sit back and watch you destroy yourselves. Too many funerals, not enough graduations. Y'all saying that the sky is the limit, but I'm not seeing anybody reach for it. Stand up. Speak up. Have no limitations.
So it doesn't really have a title. And I really appreciate being invited to do this and being given the opportunity to write in this sort of vein that I usually don't write in. I'm kind of committed to being a novelist, so it's just fun to work in this capacity. So what I'm going to read to you now is not really what I usually do. So this is like really fun for me. Okay. An essay on being good and right and true in regard to the familiarity we all have, each and every one of us, to our brothers and sisters and all living things, sometimes unliving things, on the planet Earth. That is the sound of the brain heart, which is our heart and our brain, a combined organ thriving in the center of the human body, and also at the center of other bodies, like small kitten, like small dog, like orca that kills other small things to continue its existence. In another essay, I explain more thoroughly the brain heart, and why it is the name I call humans, or rather is what humans have that make them feel, think, do, and equally important, makes them a part of the universe. So you will have to accept preliminarily that humans are brain hearts. We are brain hearts. Please make the vibe sound, if this you can accept. Go like this. Now we're all vibing together. It is impossible to exist in the Bay Area of California and the United States of America, everywhere, without having knowledge of the suffering and sadness which also exist around us, and not around us, but in other parts of California, in other parts of the USA, and other parts of the earth. I am saddened by this suffering and sadness at times. It seems the amount of suffering outweighs the opposite of suffering. I call it the opposite of suffering because it seems that wherever suffering exists, it negates its opposite. And in that negation, the opposite loses its title, its name. Have you asked yourself these questions? How can I eat when others are hungry? How can I laugh when others are crying? How can I live when others are dying? My brain heart, the thing I call humans, or the thing that makes me a human, my brain heart suffers from others suffering, from others dying, from others being or not being in the way that they wish to be. There have been several answers to this realization: to ignore it and carry on as if it does not exist, to accept that suffering is part of life on earth, to accept that there is nothing a brain heart can do about this suffering, and to even address it, risk the continued thriving of the brain heart. Indeed, are there not brain hearts who have succumbed to the knowledge of the suffering of others? I ask myself this question: how do I continue living? How do I do the things I do? How do I accept what I find unacceptable? It is unacceptable to me that another brain heart go without food, without clothing, without shelter, without enough liberty to live unmolested, unthreatened, uninhibited by other brain hearts and collection of brain hearts who happen to have been given more power by other collections of brain hearts. These realities are unacceptable to me, and yet I do accept them. Or I do not, but then I am forced to accept the reality by the inefficiencies of the brain heart and its corresponding physical body. For I cannot create food of my body. I cannot create clothing of my body. I cannot create shelter of my body. I cannot create liberty of my body. Yet that is why I'm here today, because these realities are unacceptable to me, and I must find a way to make them unacceptable to the realities of the world. The world has not rejected these realities. Other brain hearts have not rejected these realities. I see now that my observation of this phenomenon have been mostly negative. What can we brain hearts do? The largest, biggest, most helpful, beautiful thing a brain heart can do is to love. The very sound of the the very sound of the brain heart, the vibes, is the sound of love, the sound of a brain heart singing, a possibly percussive sound made by the brain heart in their body. We are buzzing and vibrating with love, all of us. I've never met a person who has not loved. The other brain heart, which another brain heart will feel vibes for, is called the one. I've also written an earlier essay all about the one, so for the sake of time, please accept that reality of the brain heart. The one is the one the brain heart loves. And it can be all things, or anything, or just one thing, or it can be many things at different times, or different things at one time, and all of these possible permutations. But whenever the brain heart feels the vibes, it is the one which receives and then retransmits those vibes. I believe in the very nature of the brain heart and its capacity to love. The one is how we can ask the world. I read that totally wrong, sorry. I believe in the very nature of the brain heart and its capacity to love. The one is how we can ask the world to no longer accept the realities of the world, which I do not accept, and I hope others do not accept either. It is easy to say, love your fellow brain hearts, and then hope that suffering on the planet Earth will no longer exist. It is so easy, I've just said it, and wished it knowing full well my saying of the thing will have no practical impact on the suffering of the world. You see this leap we must take, that I want to take, that I hope you will take with me. Leaps are often taken by thinkers and writers and philosophers. We must transition to the thing we hope for, because there is no physical path to what we desire. Yet what if it was not a leap? What if the leap was over a physical and material space? For there are enumerated actions other brain hearts have designed to alleviate the suffering of the world, yet that suffering persists despite our collective action, despite our desire. For it to no longer persist, why are our actions having an inadequate effect? I believe our physical actions have been right and true, and often the best example of the power of the collective brain heart. What I will now say, I'm sure, has been said many times over, but it must be repeated until every last brain heart understands the truth of what is being said. We are and we are not individual brain hearts when we love the one we love, which is called the one, the thing which brain hearts love. We love the one as an other, and as a being outside of our physical domain, we also love the one as ourself, as a part of our brain heart. In fact, an individual brain heart cannot exist without the corresponding other, which is called the one. We are always loving and vibing and buzzing away. It is integral to our existence. We so much want to love and make it part of ourselves that we seek it out almost everywhere we go, at all times, in romance, in brotherhood, in sisterhood, in fellowship, in solidarity, in arms. Everywhere we are seeking the one and allowing it to sustain our brain hearts. So you see, there is no leap to make there. There is no logical misstep between desiring the end of suffering and actualizing this reality. This is a simple task for the brain heart. Okay. Please take the hand of the person nearest to you, either in physical space or in mental space. Since I'm up here alone, I will imagine a family member who I love but who is no longer alive on this planet. I will take her hand in my mind, and you can take your person by the hand in your mind, or you can take the real hand of the real brain heart nearest to you. Please indulge me in this task. We are here together, and we are here with every other brain heart in this universe. Other humans who are brain hearts, and animals, and plants, which I've only recently discovered have the capacity of a brain heart as well. We are all here together, and we are here together because we cannot exist without each other, brain heart. We vibe together because that is what we are, what sustains us in this life on this planet. And so we cannot accept the suffering of the world because then we would be suffering, and we do suffer. But we do not need to suffer because we are here together. We are alive together. We are vibing together. And I ask that we promise to each other now that we will not accept the suffering of those around us. that we attempt to alleviate that suffering at all times, that we will not accept the persistence of suffering. We will not inflict suffering on other brain hearts, because then we too would be suffering. I ask that we promise ourselves this together, that we will make every effort to end the suffering of the brain hearts around us, because it is the very nature of existence to love the one, and the one is the other, and the one is the brain heart, the thing which I call humans, and the thing which humans have. A hand is held in your hand, a part of your physical body. Make a promise to this hand, and to the hand of your body, that you will love the one. Say this in your mind to the one, or out loud if you want, or the hand, or to your brain heart in your mind. Tell us all, I love you. I will love you. I have always loved you. I will continue to love you. I will love you. I love you. I will love you. I have always loved you. I will continue to love you. I love you. I will love you. I have always loved you. I will continue to love you. I love you. I will love you. I have always loved you. I will continue to love you.